Welcome. Settle in and get comfortable. Today's tale explores how the words we say can sometimes find their way back to us in unexpected ways. Kale sat on his polished wooden porch every single afternoon. He wore expensive, stiff robes that shimmered in the sunlight. With a sharp gaze, he watched the villagers pass by his gate. He felt superior to everyone in the small valley, thinking his own life was perfectly flawless and beyond reproach. A weary traveler walked past, wearing dusty, worn-out boots. Kale chuckled loudly so the man could hear him. "Look at those cheap, falling-apart shoes," he sneered with a nasty grin. He didn't notice a faint, glowing arc of light leave his lips and spin into the warm summer air. Next came a young girl with tangled, messy hair from playing in the fields. Kale shook his head in disgust. "How untidy and shameful," he muttered under his breath. Another shimmering, invisible boomerang launched from his words. It circled high above the village square, gathering a strange, heavy energy. Kale didn't realize that every harsh word was a magical weapon. These invisible boomerangs were designed to return to their sender. As he sat there feeling proud, the air began to hum with a mysterious power. The first boomerang he threw was already curving back toward his own quiet porch. Suddenly, Kale felt a strange chill down his spine. He looked at his own expensive shoes and worried they looked dull. "Is someone laughing at me?" he wondered. The boomerang of judgment had struck his mind. He began to feel a heavy weight of insecurity pressing down on him. The next morning, Kale spent hours trying to fix his hair. He remembered his mean comments about the young girl. He was terrified that the villagers were now whispering about his appearance behind his back. Every shadow seemed like a neighbor pointing a finger and laughing at his many flaws. Kale stopped sitting on his porch altogether. He hid behind his heavy velvet curtains, peeking out at the world. He felt like a prisoner in his own home. He was certain that if he stepped outside, people would judge him as harshly as he had judged them for years. He refused to wear his comfortable old tunics anymore. Even inside, he wore his most formal clothes, fearing a surprise visitor might see him looking messy. His life became a constant battle against imaginary critics. The invisible boomerangs had created a cage of perfection that he could never escape. One day, a kind monk stopped by Kale's gate. Kale trembled, wondering if the monk hated his expensive but stiff robes. "Why do you hide, friend?" the monk asked gently. Kale realized his own mind was the harshest judge of all. He had forgotten how to simply be happy and free. The monk explained the secret of the invisible boomerangs. "When you throw stones of judgment, you build a wall around yourself," he said. Kale looked at the glowing lights fading in the air. He understood that his unkindness had invited this fear. To be free, he had to change. Kale took a deep breath and stepped onto his porch in simple, comfortable clothes. He saw a neighbor and, instead of judging, he offered a warm, genuine compliment. "Those are sturdy boots for a long journey," he called out. A boomerang of kindness flew out and returned as peace. Kale finally felt the heavy chains of insecurity melt away. He learned that the world is a much friendlier place when you stop looking for flaws. We judge ourselves by the same harsh standards we use to judge others. To be free of insecurity, learn to be less judgmental. As we leave the village behind, think about how much more beautiful the world looks when we stop looking for flaws. You deserve to live without fear of judgment, starting with your own. Rest easy now, and remember that your kindness is your greatest strength. See you soon.